Good morning, and thank you everyone for attending today. Today's meeting is starting at 9 a.m. I thank everyone in attendance. Who do we have in attendance today, Diane?
This is Jennifer from 20 Western, the one that you need to vote whether you want to add it onto the agenda or not.
Perfect. Okay, great. And that's it?
That's it so far.
Fantastic. Okay. So first we want to get item number 1, approval of 11/2/2023 ACC meeting agenda.
Wayne, the motion.
Yeah. Go ahead, make that motion.
I move to approve. Wayne to second.
That was Patrick and Wayne. Okay, can we get a motion to add? I'd like to make the motion to amend today's agenda to add item number 7, 20 Western.
Do you want to vote on item 1? Sorry.
Excuse me?
Was that unanimous on item 1?
I believe it was, yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
We didn't really vote.
No, we didn't.
Motion in the second.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't hear anyone object. So we good? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to yell so I'm having trouble hearing you, so maybe I'm talking too loud too.
No,
So
you sound good on this end.
Okay, great. Okay, I'd like to make the motion to amend today's agenda to add an additional item number 7, which is 20 Western.
A second.
That was Daniel.
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, let's pop down to item number 7 then, since Jennifer's in attendance today. So item number 7 is an exterior alteration request for 20 Western Lane. It's a relocation and reconfiguration of the existing propane tank from horizontal to 2 vertical. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Yeah, I have a question. On Appendix 8, where it talks about tank regulations, in the diagram at the bottom, it shows intake to direct vent appliances has to be 10 feet away from the whatever that is, the vent. Does that include the dryer vent, where the exhaust? I mean, either you or Wayne might know on that.
We did have someone from CHS come out, and they said it had to be 3 feet. So that's why it says 3 feet on there. So they came out and they measured 3 feet from the dryer vent and then 5 feet from the sliding glass door. So that's what they said it had to be.
Oh, actually, the diagram has 3 foot from the sliding glass doors and 5 from the dryer vent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have had that mixed up then.
Yeah, so the dryer vents and exhaust, but that's a good question. And Wayne, do you have some insight on that you wanted to add?
Yeah, so I'm looking at Whatcom County reference here, 20 TAC 80 TAC 220 use of setback area. So this is proposed in the side yard, right?
This is for the backyard?
Okay. Okay, so rear yards, it reads here, you got to have at least 8 feet maintained between any structure and housing such accessory use of any building on that lot. The only time it's 3 feet is on the side yard. So whoever is installing it needs to read the Whatcom County guideline.
Okay, and where can I advise that's, I figured they knew everything, so we were just going off of what they told us.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm just looking at you can just Google Whatcom County guidelines. That's all I did, right? I have a link, and you can do the same. Just Google Whatcom County propane tank setbacks, right? And it's written here specifically. Item number 1 talks about if you install it in the front yard, and then item 2 talks about the rear yard, and then number 3 talks about the side yard. So that's why I was trying to understand where the 3 feet came from.
Yeah, well, the 3 feet, sorry, the 3 feet is from the sliding glass door. The 5 feet is from the vent, the dryer vent.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear. It just says rear yards, and then it talks about where you're maintained from any structured housing. So it doesn't matter if it's a sliding door, glass, or dryer vent, it's still part of your housing structure, right?
And
Right.
just to double check, does that apply to the vertical tanks?
Vertical is even worse than side, I would think, because it's taller, right? They even have another setback for mounting it vertical.
He was saying that it had to be. Sorry,
8 feet.
Yeah, so
I'm telling my
Jennifer-
husband what you were saying.
I had missed what you had said. What was the regulation?
Yeah, so I'm reading regulation 20 TAC 80 TAC 220. So that's under Whatcom County district setback, use of setback areas. So item 2 refers to rear yards, because that's what you're proposing, right? So
Correct.
and the last sentence says, hey, at least 8 feet maintained between any structure, housing, such as accessory use on any building on that lot.
Interesting.
I feel like that's for the horizontal tank.
The larger, older tanks.
Yeah, so vertical tanks can go up against the house.
Yeah.
So the question I think that Patrick was raising was, how close can a vertical tank be to an opening, via either the sliding glass door or the dryer vent? So they have 3 foot away from the sliding glass door, and I think and then 5 feet away from the dryer vent. And what Wayne's comment is to you is he wanted you to check on Whatcom County, in particular, I forget the item number it was, but item number 2 for rear yards with location of propane tanks. So he just wants you to be familiar with that and make sure your installer is familiar. What they have to be. It wasn't at CHS, right? So yeah, they know. They should know what they're doing.
You know, one thing, I'm looking at the appendix H,
Yes.
that 10-foot distance, that's for an intake vent, and the dryer vent, that's an exhaust vent, so I guess
Correct.
it wouldn't
Correct.
apply.
That is correct. But that was still a good catch, Patrick. That was a good question, a really valid one, actually. So I think what we're saying here is I don't think we're opposed to what you want to do. We just want to make sure that what you're doing is being done correctly.
Definitely.
Am I understanding the committee? Is that what the committee is kind of saying? here?
That's what I think.
Right.
Okay, so we need the motion stated to be that way, so that the motion would be we're all in favor. Oh, let's also discuss one other thing before we continue on. If we're kind of in agreement with that, was the covering, the proposed screening. So we typically prefer a vegetative screening, but I see you proposed to do a cedar screening, which actually doesn't look bad either. I'm not opposed to that either. And vegetative screening takes a while to grow, and deer really like it.
Yeah.
That's true. They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, do you have any questions or comments regarding the screening, proposed screening?
No, I thought that was a good solution. I liked the overall plan too, and I did not see any of those restrictions that the county had. And I assumed this kind of thing would go through county approval too. Does it not?
Not, I do not believe so. What has CHS told you?
They,
Jennifer?
they didn't tell us it needed county approval, and we told them that we needed the ACC approval.
Under the same policy I just stated from the
Yeah.
Whatcom County here, the only time the screening is identified here is only in the front yard. So in the front yard, they have shrub vegetation, minimum height of 6 inches above surface. The screening is required with a fence or shrub vegetation.
Yeah, but that's Whatcom County, so our ACC requires screening on propane tanks. So that's why I'm saying it could be vegetative screening. And I'm not opposed to this particular screening you guys have suggested either. And the reason why that's a little different here is we are an HOA and that we do have houses sitting at different elevations. So your tanks could be very visible to someone else, you know, from a different elevation, depending on where you live here.
And from
Right.
what I saw yesterday, it looks like it would be a good solution because their tank is very visible where it is now. And what they're proposing really tucks them away.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, and then another point here is if you can, I don't know if you're close enough to a fire station, just have the fire inspector come by and give you the thumbs up too. It wouldn't hurt.
Oh,
That would
okay.
make you feel better about things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that are going to have to do the first responder, right? Not your installer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we get a motion then?
What exactly do we want to say on that as far as the placement, the distance?
Well, okay, so I think the motion would be, we're gonna motion to approve the relocation of the tanks from the current horizontal tank to the vertical tanks. We want them to, we're not opposed to that, and we're not opposed to the screening they're proposing. So we're in favor of that. What we are asking them to do is double check with your installer and double check with the county regarding the location of vertical propane tanks in regards in particular to openings like windows, doors, and dryer vents.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
would ask you to double check that. That's for your own safety, you know, obviously as well.
definitely.
Yeah, so you just want to verify that, obviously, and I would assume CHS knows what they're doing, but it doesn't hurt to check, right? So I think that's a great idea, Wayne. Any
Yeah, I second your motion, Keith.
okay, that would be Keith's motion. Okay, and then Patrick for the second. Anything, do we need to add anything else to that, guys? I guess that's a no. Okay, so all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, so you've been approved, and just please follow through with what we ask. And thank you guys very much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
We definitely will. Yeah. Thank you. And thanks for the information, Wayne.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Have a great day.
You too.
Good morning, Randall.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, what property are you here for, sir?
98 Honeycomb, it was the concrete retaining wall.
Okay, awesome. Let's, guys, if you don't mind, we'll just scoot up to item number 6. This is 98 Honeycomb Lane. This is the retaining wall we went out and looked at. It was exposed concrete. He put on like an applique, which kind of looked like a fern leaf or something, or a prehistoric fossil or something like that. It was kind of cool, but not what we're looking for here at the ACC. So we had come up with some ideas, and I think actually you came up with a great idea.
Yeah, that was
Go ahead.
that
sir.
was what Joel Carter had proposed at the very beginning of the project. So
Oh, okay. And I think this is one that this Daniel is a favor of this one, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. So any comments, questions, or concerns about the proposed cladding for the retaining wall?
Yeah, I think it's in keeping with the design of the rest of the house, so I like it.
Yeah, I thought so as well, Daniel.
And it's not exceeding 4 feet from the footing, right, to the top of the wall.
no, it's under 4.
Or right close. Yeah, it's something
Yeah,
like that. But yeah, it's yeah. Yep.
yeah, I think up against the house it's 4 feet, and then it gradually tapers as the driveway gains elevation.
Yeah, I think so. So can we get a motion on 98 Honeycomb Lane?
I move to approve.
Daniel, the second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, you've been approved.
Okay, well, I had a quick question for you about that too, is because I
Yes,
built
sir.
a concrete landing for the entry stairs. That's about 20 inches high,
Yeah.
and that's concrete as well. Would you like to see that clad with cedar? I'm just trying to.
Well, here's the thing. So I believe our policy is the states anything over 2 feet really is supposed to be anything exposed concrete over 2 feet is supposed to be covered in some way. You know, it wouldn't be bad. There's an epoxy paint, and you have the door, right? The blue door and you have some black. We were thinking black
Right.
look cool, like maybe epoxy that landing or something around the edge of that with that epoxy concrete black paint. We thought it
Yeah,
might be nice, but it's not a requirement. It would be up to you if you wanted to do something like that.
Okay. Yeah, my concern with epoxy now is we're kind of past the dry time of the year, unless it was some sort of water-based acrylic or something. I
Yeah,
don't
and
have
then
it.
you know it probably wouldn't work that well.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, other than that, no, that would be up to you unless the committee has an opinion on that other than what I've stated. On his concrete landing for the stairs.
No,
Okay. Yeah, so you're good.
All right. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Randall. Appreciate your time this morning.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, that is it, right? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let's jump up to item number 2, which is going to be the consent agenda, which is the approval of the 10/19 to 2023 ACC meeting minutes. That would be the last one, and that's the one I called in on. And Diane, thank you so much for allowing me to use your phone because I could not get into you guys for some reason. So I'm going to abstain on voting on this, so I'll let you guys go forth and make your motion. And if there's any questions or comments or corrections that need to be done, please state those.
I move to approve.
2, okay. You move to approve?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Daniel,
a second.
and that's Patrick for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is, so that is the majority. I'm the only one abstained, so only because I wasn't part of it. So that is done. Okay, item number 3, 101 Grandview Lane. This is exterior alteration request. Oh, this is the little landing, 10 by 10 concrete landing they want to put in by their front door area. Any questions, comments, or concerns about item number 3, 101 Grandview Lane?
You know, I didn't really ask her about how high that retaining wall is going to be.
She said it was going to be under 4 feet, and if it's not, they were going to revisit that. Because I let her be very well aware that anything over 4 foot requires a county permit and engineering.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
looking at it yesterday, it's going to be close. Like I think like 3.5 feet is what it looked like on the backside. You know where we were.
It's
you had to
pretty
go
steep
down
over
the
there.
steps. Yeah, it looked like it's going to be close to that, about 3 to 3.5. But that's also a great catch. That's why I did talk to her about it. So I wanted to tell her that. And so what she said they might do is average it out. So maybe it might be 2 foot in the back and then a 2 foot in the front instead of 1 4 foot tall in the back kind of thing. So. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, on the exhibit, page 5 of that, they show a rock wall to be made in patio.
Yes.
So,
What that is, she had a picture out there. It's let me find. It's going to be the natural rock wall that is kind of there now. And so it's just a stacked stone rock wall. It's exactly what they have now. They're just going to kind of like reuse all the stones they have.
Yeah, it's not very vertical. It
Yeah.
slopes quite a bit.
and she's saying a patio?
Yeah, right in that space there next to the stairs and that retaining wall, there'd be a flat 10 by 10 right in there.
So we're not approving that, are we?
Yeah, that's what we're approving.
Oh, I thought it was just the pad.
It is. It's a 10
Yeah,
by
that's
pad. That's what she's calling the pad is the patio.
Okay,
It's a pad, patio, landing deck. She had a few uses for it. They don't have a garage or carport, and this also, or a big porch space for that matter either. So it also allows them a place to get some packages and stuff like that delivered.
okay.
This is what also additional reasoning for it. Okay, can we get a motion on 101 Grandview Lane?
I move to approve.
Okay, that's Daniel. Can I get a second?
Second,
Patrick, thank you. All in favor?
aye.
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 Any opposed? No. Okay, so that's unanimous.
So one clarification there,
Yep.
Keith. So when you went there, did they say they were gonna put a a barrier or fence around that patio there. I mean, it looks like they're asking us to approve an open pad, but are they gonna come back in another application and say they're gonna put seating and all that?
Yeah. So what they have to do, there's also an issue with further up the driveway, some retaining wall issues. So we talked about that yesterday too. So they're gonna approach this in like a two-phase project because the retaining wall that's there now just started to fall apart like last week when the heavy rain. So they're looking at, they have to replace the whole retaining wall that's actually holding their drive up. So that'll be the next step, is they're gonna do it. They're trying to figure it out. They're actually remodeling the whole house. So they've been doing inside and stuff, and now they started putting a little attention to the outside.
She said we'll be seeing a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what she said. They'll be coming through here a few times. So, but yeah, so did that answer your question, Wayne?
Yep, no, thank you.
Right. Yep, you bet, man. Okay, item number 4, 7 Indian Meadow Court. It's a tree limbing request. It's really, it says tree limbing, but it's really it's a tree. They're topping the tree down to 30 feet tall. So I talked to the now they did, it's not on their property, it's on the adjacent property to the neighbor's house, Mr. Martin. So I talked to him yesterday on telephone, and he's aware of it, and he's all for it, what they're doing with it and why they're doing it. So he wasn't opposed to that. Just so you know.
And they've got those permission forms.
They
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they did have the permission form. Yeah, it's kind of weird because there's actually a dead tree also on that property that was sitting not far from this maple. The maple tree is huge. If you saw it, it's like a huge tree. So it's massive. So it is overhanging the house quite a bit. So I can feel for them wanting to get it removed, and they're willing to pay for it and remove all the debris and leave a 30-foot snag for erosion control. But there's another dead tree that's probably 15 feet away or maybe 20 feet away from that. It's like deader than a doornail. And nobody's worried about that one. I thought that was funny. But anyways, irrelevant, I guess, because they're asking for that one tree to be removed. And any questions, comments, or concerns?
No,
Okay, can I get a motion then?
I move to approve.
Okay, that's Patrick. All in favor? Or can I get a second? Excuse me.
Daniel to second.
Okay, Daniel. Now, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is unanimous. And the only let's see, I should have did this before. Let's see, the only caveat, so that neighbor next door, Mr. Martin, he's like 99% confident that tree is on his corner of his property, and no other homeowner there cared about it being removed. So I didn't see a property corner, and that's the only reason why I say that. I didn't see a stake back in the way back up there in that corner. There was only one that I could find on his property, and I would have to like do a bunch of measuring and almost survey it to figure it out. So I was okay with what he was telling me, and he's like 99. His garage is on that property, so he's 99%. Like you said, it's his property. He was 99% sure it was. So I just want to throw that out there. But okay, all right. Item number 5. Oh, did we already do that? No. This is 29 Green Hill Road. This is for a pet enclosure on the side of their house. A wooden wire. And the only comment that I had on there is they didn't specify like black or green deco mesh. Oh, no, they did. I'm sorry. It's down here at the bottom. We'll use black mesh. I didn't see that. So, okay, good. That was the only comment that I really had. They had a doggy door. You see their little, had an exit right there, a little side door with a little doggy door. So I'm assuming they just let their little doggy door run out and they just want a little area for it. So they didn't mention anything about grading. It's got a high area in the center, like really high, and then goes out flat from there, but they didn't say anything about grading or removing anything. So you guys have any questions? Oh, the other thing they said was no gate.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I guess that's because the dog could go in and out from the side door. But at some point, if they want to put a gate, I was going to put the only comment gate to match. So we'd want to,
Yeah.
they decided they want to put a gate in at some time, gate to match.
So it looks like the fence is gonna be fronting the street, the part of it.
Say that again?
Yeah, Green Hill Road. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that a problem? And from what I saw in the pictures, it doesn't look like they really can't put anything behind their house because of the slope and everything.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, it is. So that is always a great concern, and another great question, Patrick, is that's always what you look at is location, right? That's why I hate when people say, oh, pictures. Well, this people have it down the street. It all depends on the location. Every lot is different and every case is different. Scenario is different. So that brings up a good question. The fence didn't seem like it was going to be hugely visible from the street, but it is going to be visible from the street. Like you will see it for sure. And so that's why I wanted to make sure they used black or green deco mesh. And like I said, I didn't realize they had black on here. So that was my only concern because I didn't see a location either for additional backyard space, if you will. So they have to use the side yard.
Now, is this gonna be all mesh or is it gonna be one of the wooden wire? Their wooden mesh type thing?
Yeah, they're specking wooden wire.
Okay.
Well, that, that means different things to different people, we found
It
out.
does. It does. That's why I like to say
I think
deco mesh.
as outlined in our rules and regs. And I can't remember what that page is.
Yeah, appendix
D,
what is it?
D, I think.
D or E, huh?
D, I think E, yeah. It says E and D, but I think it is D. Yeah, D.
Yeah. Oh, so that's weird. So mine says appendix D and appendix E on it.
Yeah, that's what mine says too. And I
Yeah, it's
just
kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not
I know
sure
E
why.
is wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah, I would refer them to that so they know exactly what this means. It sounds like they do, but we do have to clarify.
all right. So Diane, it's appendix D, right? Because it does last one
Correct.
is C, and then okay, so this one's going to be D. I say we'll just refer them to appendix D.
Yes. With the reminder that outdoor dogs do make noise and please be considerate of your neighbors.
Oh, thank you. That brought up a great one. Yesterday, so I called that homeowner about that tree, and I was talking to him, and his dog is outside, right, on a deck, and his dog is just barking away, and he goes, right in the middle, he goes, is that my dog? I go, yes, it is. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. His name's Gunner. Just tell him to shut up. And he wouldn't. He's being a good dog, but people don't think about that. The dogs will go crazy, right?
Yeah.
You're a raccoon sitting there. They're going to be barking the whole time. So they didn't realize how noisy they are. Okay, so any other comments or questions on that? On their fence location? We're good on the height, wooden wire, black mesh. We're going to refer them to appendix D in our ACC policy binder. Any other comments, questions?
That's it
No.
for me.
This is gonna be wood and wire. It's not just gonna be a black mesh. Right?
Correct. And we're going to refer
Yeah,
them to the appendix D, which outlines the wooden wire, how it's made, how it's done.
It does say wood and wire on there.
It does. Wooden wire fence is made
Oh,
with
okay, yeah, yeah.
treated lumber and has vinyl coated black or green mesh. It tells them right in the appendix.
Okay, I move to approve.
With those comments.
With those comments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, with those comments, I second.
Okay. Okay, that's Patrick and Daniel. Okay, all in favor? Approving with those comments?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Oh, here it is. Okay. That was Patrick and Daniel and unanimous. All right. Wow, that concludes today's meeting. Am I correct? That's all the items on here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
All right, so I just want to take a quick second. We can adjourn the meeting if you want, or I don't care if it's publicly recorded. I just want to thank you guys for being such an awesome group coming together to help out your community in a time of need. We really needed the ACC to pull through, and you guys, with a few others too that have already come and gone, have really stepped out, man. And I really appreciate. I hope the community really realizes how much is involved in the ACC and how much time and effort that you guys have all put in to make this thing work. And I know we're leaving it in good hands. Daniel Rodriguez is going to be our new ACC chair. I appreciate you stepping
Thank
up
you.
and doing that. And I look forward to seeing where you guys take this, man. And I look forward to working with you as well. Hopefully I get lucky and get on the board and can be some support for the ACC. If not, you may find me back asking for a job.
Always happy to have you.
Well, it's nice that on your last meeting, you learned from Daniel and made him short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we almost made the record had we not added this last section, but anyways, we'll get the next one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. And next I'll just call the meeting to adjourn. If it hasn't already been stopped recorded, and it hasn't. So the meeting's adjourned at 9:30 a.m.